motion to come out?
I'd like to make a motion to exit executive session, indicate that no motions were made, request that the minutes are sealed, and re-enter public session.
That's a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Biragad.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara. Mr. Punchak.
Yes.
Ms. Alves.
Yes. All right, we finished the other motion, right?
Yep.
All right, discussion by council vote or other action on payment of bills. Tony, you said you want to give us a new number?
Yes, give me 1 second. So subtracting out $19,638. So the new total for the payment of bills tonight would be $2,968,077.72. We're
Yeah.
lowering the fire department appropriation.
Thank you.
But we're keeping it where it usually is. It's just less than what I thought it would be.
Okay. All right, does anyone have any questions on the payment of bills?
Just one. So there's almost $14,000 worth of GZA invoices. Is this deal that they're still going to reimburse the town for that?
Correct. Just waiting on the information for them to send it back.
And then I just have some questions on the detailed expenditure status report, page 19. With the health insurance and dental insurance for the retirees are in a negative balance. Is that going to straighten out?
Yeah, so over time, so what I had started doing was, that's the OPEB. So I contribute all of the year's expenses to OPEB to gain interest throughout the year. So like it's investing itself. And then as the trust invoices us, I pull that money back, pay the bill. And so it'll, by the end of the year, it will go back to flat line of what it's supposed to be. But
Okay.
I'm trying to earn more money on the post-employment benefits.
Okay. And then, page 11, it looks like, the police station for software we're over, building repair, wait a minute, is that, yeah, building repair and personnel equipment, is that gonna, are we
So-
gonna have to move funds, or?
Yeah, the chief and I have a plan to meet at the end of this week to go over, to try and level those out. We had a couple expenditures within the personnel equipment that were more than we anticipated. The software and licenses, 2 of the licenses renewals were more than we anticipated as well. We also kind of, for the budget, we chopped that down a lot more than we normally do. And then building repair and maintenance. Yeah, we're just gonna, him and I are gonna go over these either Thursday or Friday.
So you're just gonna move some line items?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anyone else have any other questions? Anyone like to make a motion for the payment of bills?
I will make a motion to approve the payment of bills for January 20th, 2026 in the revised amount of $2,968,077.72.
That's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Biragad.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara. Mr. Punchak.
Yes.
Ms. Alves.
Yes. Old business, due to the February 3rd, 2026 special election, the following item has been moved to the February 17th, 2026 agenda. Discussion by council vote or other action on consideration of evidence regarding possible revocation of junkyard license for HT Auto LLC, DBA Leo's Auto, located at 955 Iron Mine Hill Road. And then B, discussion by council vote or other action on status/progress report items for ECC. This is usually an agenda item every month for updates. There will be a special meeting on Thursday night for the police station to answer any questions regarding the bond and status items. And then new business, discussion by council vote or other action on recognition of Rhode Island 250th anniversary of its War of Independence, Mr. Keene, and the acceptance of the resolution.
Good evening. It's Rich Keene, 7 Bamford Street, President of the North Smithfield Heritage Association. As you know, 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of the beginning of the Revolutionary War. July 4th will mark the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And so there is a 250th Rhode Island Anniversary Commission, and many of the cities and towns in the state have appointed committees to organize programs and events this year. And North Smithfield doesn't have a committee, and the Heritage Association has offered to serve as that committee if you so wish. There are some grants out there that we hope to apply for, some funds to do some of these programs and create some historical wayfarer signs around town. So if you designate us as the local committee for North Smithfield, we'll be able to apply for some of those grants.
And to add to a little bit, when we were notified by this, I reached out to Rich and encouraged them to be active in this, so this is not just him coming out one day. I think it's a good idea. Allows us to pivot quickly, and their organization's proven itself to be very active and involved.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Keene?
Just a quick one. Were there any battles in the Revolutionary War fought in North Smithfield?
No, the only battles in Rhode Island were actually fought in Aquidneck Island. So, yeah, Middletown, Portsmouth.
Thanks.
But unfortunately, we did send a lot of our citizens did participate in the militia units and served as lookouts, and some of them actually fought in the Rhode Island campaign on those battles that were fought in Portsmouth. Yeah.
If you go up 102 towards Trepatchett, there's this old cemetery on the left.
A Coates Hill, sure.
There's a couple of Revolutionary War graves in there.
Yes. We have many Revolutionary War veterans in cemeteries here in North Smithfield. So.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Mostly in Union Village, but the Buxton Cemetery up near the highway barn, Captain Buxton served on General Washington's staff. So.
That might be a good walk to do in connection with this 250th celebration.
We're actually planning one for the spring, so.
Perfect.
More to come.
All right, anyone make a motion to approve the resolution?
I will make a motion to approve the resolution. I'm trying to think
To
of the word.
designate the Heritage
Designating, yes, there you go. Designating the Historical Committee as the 250th Anniversary Commission, Rhode Island 250th Commission.
That's a motion. Is there a second? Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Biragad.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara. Mr. Punchak.
Yes.
Ms. Alves.
Yes. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, thank you very much.
Discussion by council vote or other action on approval of contract with Power Corporation for a water system asset inventory and management program evaluation. Water Department Administrator Gibbs and Mr. Dakota.
Council President, I'll start this. Representatives of the Asset Management Commission are here. Just briefly, there was a lot of discussion at the Asset Management Commission level, and the decision was made that instead of extending funds that were previously appropriated for this initiative to develop a report, we said, you know what, it would be better if we actually spent the money in a way that clearly demonstrated how the system could help the town. And under the worst case scenario, the town, even with that demonstration, felt that it really didn't have the commitment to go forward scaling it, we would still be left with something that I have considerable value to the community. So on that background, Bill's going to talk about what we're going to do.
Good evening, Bill Dakota, 143 Black Plain Road, Superintendent of Water and Sewer. When we started originally talking about this, obviously I was a little bit excited about it. The Water Department, through the years, it changes hands and it has the records aren't solid all the way through. So for the system, it's that way with water and sewer. And that's to be expected, I guess, as it changes hands. Some people take it a little more serious than others. So we have a general idea of what we have in the ground, but we don't really have an accurate account of what we have. And we don't have an accurate account of the materials, the actual years it was put in. So this plan right here is going to allow us to take the water department. It's scalable, it's small, it's something we can handle. Get it up and running, and really take a good hard look at the asset, and then start to plan with that information. Start to plan what needs to be replaced first, so we're not getting surprises down the road. Like Comstock tank, for instance, we all know the struggle we had getting that project done, but this is going to allow us to plan going forward and really get a grip on that. And some of the other parts of this are the looking at the software that help evaluate our equipment, and then also some data collection and some tools to actually, as new stuff comes on, that we can actually do that in-house and realize the savings of doing that in-house. It's quite expensive to go out there and get the inventory every so many years and update and stuff like that, have somebody do that. But as it's expanding, we can do that right here in-house, So that's what we're hoping for.
So in the end, what the town will have as a result of this is a detailed understanding of the water infrastructure. And the memorandum that Bill wrote identifies the kind of data that's being collected. And then a software application that will allow us to then analyze that and then provide a demonstration to the town council as to what this can do for you. And in the end, these are the kinds of things that we can start using to circle back into our capital planning. Now we'll have a better idea, and if you take this and you start to multiply it across various asset classes in the town, now each year when we go through the capital budgeting, we'll have a clear understanding of what's critical path, what needs to be done now from a maintenance standpoint, what needs to be done from a replacement standpoint. If, after all that process is over, at the town council, because we would also look at, so what would it cost to continue to scale this? If the town council said, well, we're not in a position to allocate that kind of capital right now, hopefully we can make the argument as to why that makes sense. At least we're left with something that now gives us a much better foundation to plan and maintain the water infrastructure. And I said on numerous occasions, and maybe people think it's hyperbole, but in my opinion, the biggest risk this town has is the risk associated with that water infrastructure. We just don't know what we really have there, and that system is already, we all know, on fragile ground. This could be the first step to really start putting together a facilities plan and plan it out with people. So Bill, you may want to talk about how the actual project cost was hard and how we're capitalizing that.
Okay. So, I mean, the first part of this was the water system inventory. That's probably the most labor-intensive part, getting out there and finding all the valves in the system and bringing all our records together to give us a comprehensive map of the system. It's a little bit labor-intensive. There's going to be a lot of work in the office on that. They're going to compile all the records we do have. We have scattered maps from projects. They'll bring them together. We're going to go out, take our tie cards, the ones we do have, and then go out and search for the ones we don't have. locate those, create and then create a GIS model of where everything is in the system. So right out of the gate, just being able to go out and on a repair and being able to isolate a break or to shut off somebody's water service, things like that. I mean, that's very useful information. And the second part of this task two, the asset management evaluation, that's the software that we're going to be able to later on plug in, obviously budget was a consideration in here, right? So taking all the information and doing an evaluation on the state of our system, that's not in this proposal. We're hoping for that to be the next step. So at that point, we'll be able to take all the information we gathered and then determine like what areas of town need the most attention and be able to set up a plan for us to go out and take care of that. That's something that's going to be very important for this town. The data collection tools, like I was saying earlier, that's the equipment that we actually use in the field, the physical equipment to go out and locate something, get coordinates on it and be able to plug it in. If somebody puts a new service in, we want to be able to go out there and easily put that into a working map that we have, something we can do in-house. So that's the task three, the data collection tools. And then obviously the final part of this is the report to you, the presentation to you, to explain to you what their findings are. What are the tools that are going to work for us as a town? Obviously, we're not going to use the same tools as Providence Water does. We're a smaller community, so we don't have the same needs as they do. We thought it was a good idea to really focus in on, and not just go out there and listen to a couple salespeople and make a determination, but to have somebody who does this, and to really analyze it and break it down and set us up for success on this.
That's great. It says training requirements and stuff. Do we know what kind of, how much training is going to be involved so that when we go through all this, should you not be here or someone, if you're out or something, that it's going to be easy enough for everyone to learn this system so that we can keep it up?
I mean, I do believe, if, some of the systems I've been looking at that I kind of glanced over, they're pretty easy to handle in-house. If it gets to be, if the systems get bigger, it gets obviously a lot more complicated. But as far as the development over here and the small pieces like that, we can easily go out there. The equipment's very easy. It works with your cell phone. You locate the valve, you put it in, you go back and you add it into the map. So there are some really simple systems that do that. If it's determined that we, should be using the more complicated stuff, I mean, we may need to have, what you do is you take the as-built and once a year you can upload them into the system, have them uploaded into the system or something. Those systems are like that. So, and I think right now with GIS, annually, we can take our changes and submit them in, and there's a fee for it to upload it into the system and update the system. But I mean, there may be simpler software programs that'll be able for us to do it right here in-house. And there's so one of the ones that I was looking at, and I won't mention it, but there's Rhode Island Rural Water Works. It's an organization that's available to small water systems serving under 10,000 people throughout the state of Rhode Island. So, and they use this system, and they go out there and they assist small communities. So let's say it changes hands and somebody comes in and they're not really that familiar. That training is available through them, just through our standard membership, for them to come out and help you with help you learn the system. So
it's something we're going to be able to continue as the
As
system
time goes
grows
on.
and as, okay.
yeah, and I mean the plan of the Asset Management Commission. I don't want to speak for them, but their plan is to expand this as we go forward, right? To bring in maybe the sewer and parks, streetlights, all those things. There's different layers, and you just add them in as time goes on. Buildings, things like that.
No, it's a great start. I mean, it's definitely something that been talking about for many years that we definitely need.
Yeah.
I mean, this might open our eyes to something that we don't want to know, but at least it's going to bring us, we're going to have all the information we need to move forward,
Exactly.
And plan capital projects and going forward, so this is great.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
I also wanted to make sure we acknowledge the Asset Management Commission. They've been working on this for a long time.
Yes, thank you.
I'm glad we're able to move it a little bit further down the field.
Thank you.
I have a few
Yeah.
questions. All right, so first, you mentioned sewer. Would it have you gotten pricing to do the sewer? I'm assuming our water infrastructure and our sewer infrastructure are in probably 90% of the same locations streetwise.
So the sewer commission, we have done an assessment of our sewer pump stations. We haven't done of the collection system yet. So in the sewer, I mean, as far as if you're talking like price, would it be more expensive to have, if we were to tackle that, it would be extremely expensive, right? So.
I guess I'm thinking economy of scale. So if I go out there and I need to locate a gate valve and there's a sewer manhole 20 feet away from me,
Yes,
to me, the economy of scale is there rather than, that survey crew goes out one time, gets that gate valve, and then 6 months from now goes and gets that sewer manhole.
well, the problem with that is that our collection system is quite a bit larger, right? So from a budget standpoint, my budget is 15% is water, 85 is sewer.
Okay.
So it's a much bigger system. So, but I can tell you that like the sewer commission, we do have a plan to, it's actually being worked on right now by Wright and Pierce to do the repairs to the pump station, the necessary repairs to the pump station. So there's a move forward to take care of that. And will we be bringing the collection system? Hopefully that the sewer part gets plugged into this at some point. Yeah, for sure. But as far as being out there and I'm not sure that it would scale only because water is isolated to a certain strip where the sewer is quite it's quite vast.
Okay.
Nevertheless, what you're doing with the pump stations right now, though, does give you an opportunity to be very clear to the data you collect on that.
Yes.
And that will become a factor and put into the asset management program if we scale next stage into, say, sewer. So some of it's already going to be addressed.
Okay. I just was asking. So as part of their report back to you and their recommendations back to you, have you had discussions with them about getting their opinion on what the water department charges for connections?
Well, so, I mean, this is the first step, I think. I think the first thing is to get a handle on this. And then, yeah, do we need a rate study? I think we do. But I think that's maybe going forward. First, we need to know what our needs are, and then we need to determine, what it's gonna cost, and then go to the rates. I mean, we definitely do need to look at the rates, there's no doubt about it, and it is on the agenda, but not quite yet.
Okay.
Although one of the software programs they were looking at
Yeah,
actually is used for rate studies. So it uses a lot of the same data, but it will do what-if scenarios and what you really, if you don't charge this for your rate, this is what impact it's gonna have on the system and its maintenance versus alternative. So there is other application that it could be used to do rate studies for us internally.
Okay, two more questions. So the town has a GIS system currently used predominantly by the planning board. Is there discussions about maybe being able to take some of the data accumulated and add that layer into the towns? I'm not saying we need, it'd be nice if you were looking at a piece of property to be able to say, oh, yes, there's a water main here, or yes, I'd be able to get, water. Is it, that a possibility to have a layer in that GIS system that would show where the infrastructure is?
yeah, it's definitely possible. Right now, there is a sewer layer, and it shows sewer. The water, there's some thought out there, and I don't know if I definitely agree with it, that they don't like to have water on the GIS readily available for everybody. And it has something to do with 9/11 at that point. It's like a lot of people step back and say, maybe we don't want this information out there, the critical infrastructure, but some communities do. So, I mean, that would be a decision that's up to you. Can it be put in? Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, and then the last question was, so Providence Water took over Johnston a few years back. Have you talked to Providence and, you know, just lessons learned? Because what I heard, it was Johnston was in a very similar situation to what you're explaining here, that nobody knew where anything was, or it was all, you know, hand-drawn sketches and, you
Yeah.
know, plans. And, you know, Providence spent a lot of time, from what I understand, trying to, you know, get that system so they knew where things were. Have you talked to anybody there and just lessons learned type thing, or?
Well, you know, I worked for Cumberland in the past, and I've worked for Woonsocket, and so I can tell you that Woonsocket kept very good records, and Cumberland kept pretty good records, and North Smithfield not so much. So it's you know, it depends where you go. Yeah, I think there's some lessons to learn. So, you know, to be clear, like, we do have drawings of a lot of things. The thing is, it's just not. It's like if somebody calls me up and says, "Hey, can I tie in?" I could be spending hours. Right? Somebody asked me the other day if they could tie into the water system on Great Road. I could be spending hours looking for things. I'm looking for maps that, you know, through drawers and drawers of maps, and then I'll catalog them as I go. But they're still they're all in sections. Nothing's ever been brought together. Then I got to look to see if, you know, water services were put in, and then look back to the neighbors where they tied in and things like that. So you got to, like, it's this giant investigation. We don't really have, and then it's like material-wise, right? It's a lot of it is listed as ductile iron. Well, it's not. A lot of it is PVC. A lot of it is transite. A lot of it is cast iron. So it's like it just wasn't. So we really just need to get in there, dig down, and know exactly what we have.
Bill?
Yes.
I'm Paul Nordstrom, the Chair of the Asset Management Commission. One of the advantages of having PAR did the analysis in Johnston on that acquisition process, and they've done it a few other communities. So that's the experience that they bring. So I think that really advantageous. And just an editorial comment, this is a great place to start. Haven't been involved with wastewater utility for all those many years. Your biggest fear is you don't know what's under the ground, and that's what keeps you up at night. When you can get shut-offs and that information accurately located, so you're not running to plans and wasting a lot of time during emergencies, and know, well, if we isolate this section, we can stop the leak, we can stop the break. Can't even begin to think about how much money that saves in the long run. So it's money well spent, and it doesn't make any difference if it's a gas utility, wastewater, water. Most of those utilities, at least the big ones, are going that way toward getting all that information. And the other point is, institutional knowledge can only get you so far when you have a small staff, and when there's turnover. You know, you don't want to be calling the guy that retired at 2 in the morning and asking him, picking his brain, trying to figure out what he remembers. So it's a great place to start.
So you made me think of another question. You mentioned knowing where shut-offs are. In the PAR proposal, which I totally get why they said it, they said they're gonna locate visible, you know, shut-offs and stuff like that. So does the water department go out prior to and say, hey, geez, we think there's a gate valve here, let's, you know, cut this asphalt, or, you know, use a metal detector and see if there's something there, so that when PAR's crew is there, they can see it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be working with them directly, so, you know, a lot of the valves are obviously visible. I mean, they should make sense where they are. They're in intersections, and every so often you have them on a long straight run, so we do have maps. We'll definitely be locating them. The other thing is when you get out there, a lot of the valves will be turning, so we count the turns to determine the size of the pipe. So, yeah, they'll be getting exercised. So, yep.
Anyone have any other questions? All right, anyone want to make a motion? Let me do it. Let me do it.
I'll make a motion. To authorize a resolution authorizing the town administrator, Scott Gibbs, to enter into a contract with Park Corporation for a water system asset inventory and management program evaluation in the amount not to exceed $78,400.
That's a motion. Is there a second? Second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Biragad.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara. Mr. Punchak.
Yes.
Ms. Alves.
Yes. Discussion by council vote, other action on approval of contract with Park Corporation for professional engineering services related to the design of a total, I might need some more help with this one. What is it?
Trihalomethane.
Removal system at Comstock Tank. Town Administrator Gibbs and Mr. Dakota.
I'm here before you tonight to ask you to enter into contract with Power Engineering to help us to do an evaluation and help to design a TTHM or a trihalomethane removal equipment into the Comstock tank. So what brought this about was in July, we collected what we call disinfection byproduct samples. We collect those 4 times a year, and we have a maximum allowable limit of 80 parts per billion of disinfection byproducts, or in this case, it's trihalomethanes. So there are 2 that we monitor for, haloacetic acids and trihalomethanes. The trihalomethanes are a problem for us, and they're a problem in the industrial park tank. So what causes trihalomethanes is it's the contact between organic matter that's in the water, naturally occurring in the water, and when you introduce chlorine over a certain period of time and warmer weather really helps to make this chemical reaction happen. They generate disinfection byproducts. We did exceed the limit on that number, and that number, so to clarify, that number haunts us for the whole year because it's actually a running annual average. So you get a high number in the summer. This is really common in the summer for a lot of systems, especially purchased water systems that are further out. So age of water, chlorine, and organic material. Those are the things that affect the trihalomethane. Well, I'm going to call them TTHMs just to make it a little bit easier for myself. So what happens? We buy water from Woonsocket. It's perfectly fine. We get it on this side of the pump station from the river over here. We have no issues whatsoever because the water is constantly moving through the system. Years ago, a tank was designed. It was designed to fight fire. So it's a 1 million gallon tank. And then it was also, we were filling it with wells, right? And so wells we might have a well that produces 80 gallons a minute. We have quite a bit more water coming through the pump station, so they designed that tank with those parameters in mind. So as far as turnover in that tank only turns over every 21 days. So it's a lot of time for that water to create these disinfection byproducts. To get back to this, what they're proposing is to come down and evaluate our process to see how we treat the water and see if they can make any improvements there. I'm pretty confident in what we do with the water. I don't think they're going to be able to make any improvements on what we're doing right now. We're running on minimum disinfection levels. We have to focus on disinfection. That's going to be our priority. So the disinfection byproducts are secondary to disinfection. So within that balancing act, I think we're doing everything we need to be doing to make sure we're delivering safe water as far as disinfection levels. And the effect of that is the TTHMs. Okay, so they'll come down and evaluate it. I don't want to just blindly say we got to install this equipment. We really need to take a look at what we're doing, just to make sure from an outside point of view that what we're doing is okay. You don't want to add treatment if you don't need it, but eventually as part of this, I'm pretty confident that the removal system is going to be needed. It's a pretty straightforward system. There's not a lot to it. There's no chemicals. It's just aeration. So it's an aeration system installed in the tank. So basically the disinfection byproducts are volatile. You aerate the tank, they get into the atmosphere, they got a fan on the roof, and it just exhausts out the roof. And that's how you solve the problem. So, so tonight I'm asking for permission to sign a contract with PA to start the process of dealing with this issue.
And this is paid for by the water users?
This is gonna be paid for, yeah, exactly, it's an enterprise fund, so it will be paid for out of capital.
I'll make the motion. To authorize the town administrator, Scott Gibbs, to enter into a contract with PA Corporation for professional engineering services related to the design of a total
Trihalomethane.
trihalomethylene, otherwise known as TTHM, a removal system at the Comstock tank in the amount not to exceed $117,600. That's a motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Can I just have one point of clarification? So this 117, is this just for professional services for them to tell us what it needs, or is this to start the process of the remediation system?
So first thing they're gonna do is come out and evaluate the system, evaluate our process. If let's say they find a smoking gun that says that, hey, listen, you shouldn't be doing this, then there's no need for the design of the disinfection, of the TTHM removal system. So there'll be a savings there. That's what the evaluation part is. I put it all together because, to be honest with you, like from past experience, from talking to other communities, Smithfield has the same issue. They buy from Providence Water, their system over there. 99% of the time, it lands on the removal system. So it's all in the package. But in the event they come out here and they find a smoking gun, something we can do better, turn the tank over quicker, get it down to 10 days. So what happened, one of the things we do is we have to maintain a disinfection in that tank for that 21 days that's in there, we have to add chlorine at the pump station on Graham Drive. So we add chlorine. And what our target is 0.2 milligrams per liter, right? And that's the minimum that you should have in your distribution system, that 0.2 milligrams per liter. So we're drilling right down on that number. We may be between 0.2 and let's say 0.4 throughout the entire summer. But, disinfection is really what's key here. You really don't want to let your numbers drop low, right? Because if you have an issue like that, then forget it. So you need to maintain that. I don't see where we can reduce the disinfection on our side. We have to get that 0.2 number. You're just not going to go lower than that. I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. But if they come out and they see a way where we can, shorten the life in the tank, which I don't see how it's going to happen, then the design part goes away.
So this 117 is total?
It's total. It's going to get us the design of the system. It's going to get us they're going to do the permitting. They're going to do the bid package on it, and then they'll help assist us putting it out to bid. It's everything soup to nuts. And if one part falls out, if the design falls out, then let me take a look at that. Yeah, so the assessment and analysis is $35,250. And then if they find the smoking gun in there, all those other fees go away.
Okay.
There are a lot of dead ends in the water system.
Well, that's one of the big problems with our system. There are a lot of dead ends, right? It's, you know, from Rhodes Avenue it's all the way to the end of Industrial Park. So, yeah, I mean, it dead ends over on Industrial Park, dead ends on Tift Road, it dead ends in Millville. It's just the nature of it. It's not like a grid city where it's all looped together. So the water's not always moving in different directions.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Biragad.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara. Mr. Punchak.
Yes.
Ms. Alves.
Yes.
Thank you.
Discussion by council vote or other action on appointments to town boards/commissions. The first one is the North Smithfield Tree Warden for 2025-26. So there's a letter in your packet. So didn't we already appoint, did we already appoint the tree warden?
Every year, we have to do it in January.
Okay.
Stan Zuba has,
So it wasn't part of that?
No.
Okay. So I would assume
Stan.
Stan Zuba, did he say he wants to continue?
yes.
Okay. All right, so I'll make a motion to appoint Stan Zuba as the tree warden for North Smithfield in 2025-26.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Biragad.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara. Mr. Punchak.
Yes.
Ms. Alves.
Yes. And just in this letter, it says that there was an enclosed appointment form. Did we complete that and stuff?
That will be completed once I get the approval.
Okay, so we're going to get that
Yes.
completed, right? Okay,
Mhm.
perfect, thank you. All right, appointment to Juvenile Hearing Board for a 3-year term from December 1st, 2025 to November 30th, 2028. This is the appointment by the town administrator.
Council President, I'd like to appoint Christine Carpenter to the Juvenile Hearing Board.
Okay, you don't need any approval from us, right?
No?
Okay,
No.
thank you. And the last one is resignation, resignation from Public Art Committee. We have actually 2 resignations, right, for the public, for the Art Committee?
Yeah.
All right, so we're just accepting these resignations and we're going to send them a letter? Okay. Thank you. And then we also have a resignation from the Economic Development Committee, which we'll be accepting and also send a letter. Town Administrator, I know we spoke before the meeting, so this one, we always say sometimes we don't have any reasons why people are resigning from boards or committees, but this one obviously did give us a reason. Can we reach out to the chair of this committee and find out why we're not getting a quorum, and if it's the same individuals, why we're not moving forward to get new individuals on that committee? Okay.
I will do that.
Okay, thank you. And if we need to maybe amend the resolution so that they're actively having one meeting a month or maybe quarterly, so that because, I showed you, there was like, the last 3 meeting minutes, they were canceled because of no quorum.
Yeah, we'll need to explain that, whether people not showing up or they have vacancies, but we did work with them during the first phase feasibility study for the tax and financing district. We just kicked off in that stage that we got funded through Island Housing, and we met with the Economic Development Commission last week, and we'll be meeting with, they'll be involved every other week in Zoom meetings, and so they're gonna have a lot to meet on, so we'll make sure that they're doing that.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see, discussion by council vote or other action on salary and wage ordinance. Mr. St. Ange, first reading.
Yeah, so this is just a formality. We do it every year. ranges. This is a little bit later than normal, but it's because the police contract took a while to finalize, and I had to get around to actually completing this. So this is mainly for actuarial purposes and insurance purposes. When in the process of doing the audit, I have to provide this to them, just as a background to the council. So like Kim said, this is just a first reading, and then we'll have the second reading the next meeting.
Can I just ask you a couple questions on this?
Sure.
So it lists electrical inspector part-time. There's two different line items. One is hourly and one, I guess, is annual. Why is it listed like that?
So one of them is based on if one of them can't do the job anymore, the other one will do it based on amount of jobs completed.
Okay.
So one of them we just give a straight stipend for.
Okay.
All the inspectors we give them a stipend for monthly, and then if there was a period of time, I think last year, or one of them was sick or something for a while, and the substitute had to come in and do it. I think it's for 2 or 3 months.
Okay. And then my only other question is, 3 from the bottom, it says seasonal personnel, $15 an hour. Minimum was increased to 16.
What page of it is it?
The second page, third from the bottom.
Okay, I'll update that to 17.
Well, it has to at least go to 16, right? Because 16 is minimum wage.
16.
Yeah.
Got it.
So are we still going to consider this the first reading, or?
It's up to the council. It's with changes. I can provide the revised version with the 16 per hour for that line for next meeting.
Okay.
I thought I caught it when I changed all the camp counselors and everything, but there's one hiding.
All right, so do we just have to accept this as the first reading?
We don't, technically, exactly right. We just accepted it first reading, and I think, I'm gonna confirm, I'm not so sure this one requires a public hearing. But either way, we'll continue we'll have to schedule the second reading. At that point, you will amend it with these changes referenced by the finance director. And if we have to have a public hearing, we'll have a public hearing first on the same day.
Okay, so we're
I'm just
make
gonna
a motion
confirm.
to
I'm not
date.
seeing it in the code, but I wanna just confirm, wanna make sure there's nothing buried in the ordinances.
Okay. So we're just making a motion to a date certain. Joanne?
It doesn't have to be a date certain.
February 17th? I'll make a motion.
So what was it, February 17th?
17th, yeah.
And that's the second reading? So we're accepting the first reading and going second reading the 17th. Okay. I would like to make a motion to accept the salaries and wages for fiscal year 2026, first reading, and indicate that there will be a second reading on February 17th.
That's a motion. Is there any other discussion? I'm sorry, there's a motion. Is there a second? Any further discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Biragad.
Yes.
Mrs. O'Hara. Mr. Punchak.
Yes.
Ms. Alves.
Yes. Thank you. Discussion by council vote or other action on communication from town administrator, Mr. Gibbs. The first one is the asset management program
We
status.
already discussed that, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
2, grant status, just to, as usual, I have in the package summary. Couple things. One is, we've been carrying for quite a while a $500,000 grant to the police department and the cops communication and dispatch. That grant was dismissed as were all earmarks during the 2026 continuing resolution. We resubmitted immediately to Congressman Emo's office. That grant request has been reviewed and included in the House version as well as the Senate version. And I've been told by Congressman Emo's office that it's in the White House for approval, not that this is part of a larger package. The Route 146 second phase of the access to the financing district, that's all been executed. We had a kickoff meeting last week, so that process is now beginning, and it will continue through the first quarter of 2027. We were informed that our grant application under the Safe Street and Roads for All of the United States Department of Transportation has not been accepted. It was a Hail Mary pass, quite frankly, but it was worth taking. There was a very, very low acceptance rate on applications, so we did not get that. The Davy Brook flooding grant has been executed, and we are now going out for proposals, which is due next Friday. And that's it.
Okay. Anyone have any other questions?
If I could just ask a question, how's Lisa doing?
Doing well. Doing well. She's helping us in several fronts. We've also connected her with the senior services program, so she's helping them, and we've also connected her with the EMA program. Be more aggressive there. Of course, she continues to work with us. She's the one that really reached out to us as it related to Congressman Amos' office. She's been keeping us informed throughout the process, and constant contact with his office for updates. So we're doing well.
No home runs yet, though.
There's not a lot of home runs right now in Washington. We're kind of in that.
Yeah, nothing against her, right?
We're in no man's land right now. Like I said, I'm hoping we get the COPS grant. My only concern is that the president's warning that all sanctuary states will not be getting federal money. This is a sanctuary state, so I've got my fingers crossed. Everybody gets caught in the same backtrack.
So, is it possible to have her maybe come quarterly, just,
Yes, it is.
okay,
It is.
all right. Okay,
I know you've asked for that several times.
that's
Council
fine,
President.
okay. Is that it on yours, on your
That's
side?
it. Yeah, no, it's not. You also asked for an update, I think that.
Oh, yeah, I meant on your stuff, I was gonna have Linda come
Oh,
up, yeah.
Councilwoman Lucretia Carl asked for an update from the senior service program. In your package is something that Linda Tebow prepared, and I asked her to come and briefly address it. Okay?
Linda, you wanna come up and just kinda give us you have a lot to be proud of here.
Give us the highlights.
Yeah, but there's a lot to be proud of here, so.
Linda Tebow, 83 St. Paul Street. You have the report that I gave you? Any questions on it? Do you want me to go through it, or?
I mean, yeah, maybe just do the highlights of what kind of progress
All
you're
right,
making, because.
all right. So what I did was a year-end review. North Smithfield Senior Services took over all the programming at Scouters for Seniors in July. And so briefly, what I did, we went through all of the sign-in sheets from July to the end of December. My husband helped me, big chore. So we just started in July. We had the regular classes going on there, Zumba Goals, Sit Fit, Be Strong, Yoga Lattes, line dancing, Keep Moving, Pilates, mat yoga, and mindfulness and meditation. We knew we could do more than that. So in August, we added chair Zumba, bar fitness, weight training. And what we started doing is making sure that all of our schedules were distributed to all the senior housing sites. We're targeting them. It's hard to get them out of their apartments. And to the North Smithfield Weekly newsletter. And the word was out that we had a lot going on at Scouters. September, I reached out to my contact at Blue Cross Blue Shield Rhode Island to schedule programs and classes at Scouters. They sent Chef Kevin, and he's a big hit. He's kind of cute. And he cooks really well, too, and he brings us food to eat. So the classes were very well attended. Then the biggie in September, and many of you, not many, some of you were there. John was there, Scott was there. We had the Senior Center Month celebration at the Beef Barn. We had 185 seniors that attended. Kayla is a member of our senior citizen advisory group. She makes all the flyers for us. We began distributing them to the library, senior housing, Bridget O's, and in the weekly newsletter. And also at that time, Sandy from NRI News Now started highlighting our flyers so the world knows what's going on. In October, we started adding something else. We did an exercise bingo, which was a lot of fun. You know, seniors love bingo, but my brand of bingo was not sit down and just do the number things. You had to do some exercises too, and that was, they loved it. I think we had like 25 people for that. Then we had a Great Apes presentation by Jane Deming. She's a humane education specialist. She works for Animal Rescue RI, and she does all the education programming for them and goes out to the schools and also to us. And people really did enjoy that one. Where am I? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, and then we had another presentation by Blue Cross Blue Shield, which was lots of fun. Laughter is medicine. Because, you know, I try to bring things, you know, the world is in such a turmoil. So we try to bring things that bring laughter because it's good for our souls, it's good for our hearts, it's good for our lungs. And that was really, really, really well attended. And what we were able to add too was appointments with the Medicare specialist, Guy Boulay. He had appointments starting in October until the deadline, December 7th. This is very, very important because this is a service that helps seniors, first time maybe to Medicare, but to navigating, and it's really tricky. Even people with college degrees have a hard time understanding what's what and why. And things, especially this year, were very critical because things were going up. You know, a lot of the co-pays and everything. So that was and we were able to get a printer and a laptop so that we were able to let him do all these programs at Scouters, now that we have Wi-Fi there. What else happened then? October. Oh, we started, yeah, okay, that happened. Then in November, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Rhode Island actually added some laughter yoga classes for us, real yoga classes, and it was so well. And you know, when we have that, it doesn't cost us anything. And they also sent us somebody to do a presentation on brain power, which is good for all of us because our brains get older too, not just our bodies. So that's really important. Then there was something that I had never heard of, but diamond art class. Have you heard of it? It's kind of like painting by numbers, but with stones. And this gal offered to do it for nothing. She not only did it for nothing, she donated her time and all the products that we needed to make it happen. So that was good. I do try to get things that don't cost anything. And that's when I decided, I noticed that they wanted to kind of hang around before and after some classes. So I said, well, let's try to start some congregate meals and see. So I called my friend Steve Healy down in Woonsocket, and he was able to bring lunches up to us. You know, our kitchen there at Scout is, I'm trying to be polite, it's really not conducive to things that are warm and cooking kind of thing. So what we ordered, especially since they were doing exercise classes, we went with salads and sandwiches, and maybe a cup of soup. So they liked it. They signed, and it was a $3 donation. So what I did is we put a big table out in the small room there, and it was like a Thanksgiving table. And the lunches, I had to add a kids' table at the end because I liked them all sitting together. They hung around for a couple of hours, just talking, and that's what senior centers are about, you know. They can get together and they talk and laugh and have fun. So that added, and that was really good. We had some good turnouts for that too, so I've got to do some more of those. Blah, blah. Yeah, we like that. Yeah, so what they were doing is, you know, they'd come from morning class, have lunch, and stay for the afternoon. Who knew, you know? Blah. And I had some really good volunteers that have helped me with that, though. And then we had the first annual Veterans Appreciation Dinner on November 11th at Lindy's. We had 87 veterans and their guests. We had a USO show, and then they had a delicious buffet. Now, we had it on a Tuesday, on the actual day, when veterans are very busy. But that was the day that Ron Carter wanted us to use because he could give us his full attention, and there'd be lots of parking. So John was there and Scott was there. It was a good night, I thought. Anyways, so that was November. So that was 87 people, and it was in the Plastic Palace. December, you know, I said, oh, nobody's going to show up because it's a busy time of year, but attendance continued to be brisk. We had a wonderful presentation once again by Jane Deming. I think 22 seniors came to that, and it was Christmas animals, and it was so much fun. We had Christmas cookies after that. And then Natalia De Resendes, who maybe, I think she's well known by everybody. Richard and I know her. But I thought she was just going to come, and she has a doctorate in divinity. She's an interfaith minister, but her research, her dissertation was the positive impact of music and movement, dance, on the brain. So that was her dissertation for her doctorate degree. So I figured she's going to come and sing a couple of songs. Well, she said, well, Linda, you know what, Sasha is going to come. She's a jazz pianist, well known. Oh yeah, and Paul's going to come, and he's a tenor that sings everywhere. And oh yeah, and Chris is going to come too. So we had a show. I mean, it was marvelous. It was so much fun. Everybody was singing and smiling and dancing the Christmas Macarena. And once again, we had 44 people showed up. 44 people showed up. So then we had some more Christmas cookies. I do like Christmas cookies and coffee, and that was fun. And then we decided to add country line dancing too. That's really fun. I tried it. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. So it's been 6 months. We had seniors from North Smithfield, neighboring communities. They've been enjoying all the classes, programs, events. And I'll tell you, many seniors, businesses, and professionals have volunteered their time to help me in developing this program. And I have to thank Scott and his team and the council. I think you've all been very supportive of us as we began our journey 6 months ago. Kate has been wonderful helping me schedule things at Scouters. And I have lots of people to thank. And, you know, helping make this dream become a reality. And this is my finishing line here. I'm pleased to announce that North Smithfield Senior Services has served from July to the end of December 3,162 seniors in the last 6 months to be continued. So that's pretty dang good for the naysayers that say that we don't need something. We really do. And we have lots more planned. And I've reached out to Megan Connolly at the OHA and Lisa as well. Megan Connolly, she's the second in line up there at OHA. She was really happy to know that we have a temporary senior center going there. She's going to come out and see us. I said, make sure we're on the list for all the things like any kind of grants or things like that. And I also have been in touch with Meg Grady at Meals on Wheels because they're interested in doing a vet cafe. And it doesn't cost anything. I like things that don't cost anything. Tony does too, that don't cost it. And so actually what they do is they bring in food like once a month, and it's a meal, but they also have all kinds of people to help veterans, benefits and things like that. And you say, well, the veterans were about seniors. Well, veterans are seniors. And we have a lot of Vietnam veterans that can use that. And I thought it would be really nice if we could, you know, get that. And so we're working on that. We're also going to have a spring health fair because I've had people that have volunteered to bring in things like vision screening and hearing and all those kinds. So that'll be in the spring. I'm thinking of a Mother's Day. What do you think? Well, you're young. You're too young. But I know that it's makeup for mature women.
Oh, God, that's not enough.
It might be fun. We'll try that. And Richard, you know what I was thinking, you know, for the 250th anniversary, I was planning to do a flag folding ceremony with the little scouts, you know, we used to call them Cub Scouts and Brownies, but they called them something else, so we're working on that too. So that's in the pipeline. So thank you.
I also like to just put a couple quick footnotes. One is, there was a purchase of a software system, you know, so in the future, once that's ramped up, she won't need her husband.
This is true. You know, I'm not the best with adding and subtracting, so he was helping me count, but no. Yeah.
Services, and we have bylaws that are going to be, she's going to be recorded in the state of Rhode Island as a separate nonprofit.
Yeah.
And the attorney's going to be filing, which will file once the tax designation. Hopefully, all that will be completed before the budget comes before you.
Yeah. Isn't that great? That's great. And we've already got, like, Melissa Murray, she's one of our senators, and a couple of the others have said, once we get that, Melissa said to me, would you like a legislative grant? I said, why, sure, you know. So we've been, you know, working on things like that. And this is exciting. But Scott's really been helpful. And, you know, I've had a lot of help. A lot of the seniors have volunteered. They want to be on my team, so it's kind of good, you know. Yeah. Go Patriots.
Linda, can I ask you a question? Linda. Linda, over here.
What?
I'm over here.
Oh, what? What? I'm sorry, John. Oh, all right. I figured you were tired of hearing me talk.
No, never.
So,
Never.
unreal. What kind of? So, can you tell me a little bit about that weightlifting program is new, right?
Yeah.
Because I was just reading a big article. I was on a plane, and like a long article about the benefits of lifting, of weight training in your 70s and later in life, and how it builds bone density.
It does.
And if you never lifted a weight in your life, there's still a benefit that's starting even after 70 years old.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think that's great that
Yeah,
you're doing something
there is
like
a
that.
law that says your bones are as strong as they need to be, and that's scientific. So any weight-bearing exercise.
Right.
But we started that, well, another group was asked if they wanted it. They said no. I said, I do. So we have weight training now. I mean, we're not lifting,
Of course, but any
you know,
resistance.
big thing.
Yeah.
But it's a great class. You should try it.
I
Well,
will.
you're strong. But, you know, I've been to that one. And that's the other thing. I try to go to all these classes, or at least most of them, because I want them to know me. And I want to see their reaction. I don't do surveys. It gives me a headache, surveys. So I just, what do you like? Do you like that? You want it again? And that works, you know? But there's another one that we have. It's called Forever Fit. And she does some weight stuff, only she uses bands instead of weights.
Yeah.
We had 30 people. Oh, I need more chairs. I need more of these chairs. I had a class of 30 people for her first class. See, I bring people with followings, too. I hire instructors that bring people with them. And I'm putting out chairs. I had no chairs left. I had to go to the folding chairs. I only have 25 chairs over there. I need more of these
I
chairs.
thought we have them.
Anyways, any other questions?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I'm saying, don't we?
Yes,
have-
I know, we have the new ones. I was kind of saving those, but
I would use them.
we have to use them. We
Yeah.
will, yeah. But isn't that great? When you run out of chairs, life is good.
That's great. Thank you so much, Linda. You've been doing awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm just happy to be back here and doing this.
We are overjoyed to have you. Well, she was an ice skater. That was a big project in this town.
She still skates. She still
God, I
skates.
can't walk and she's skating. There's something wrong here. And then I went to school with Bea and Natalie. Natalie. When I went to school with her name was Natalie.
Okay.
You need to come to her next, she's going to do another event in springtime. You need to come.
Okay, so open forum pursuant to 42-46-6D, maximum 3 minutes per person. Did anyone want to speak during open forum?
Can I speak as a citizen, and do I have to walk up there?
No, you can speak there.
I'm Claire O'Hara. I live at 16 Summit Avenue in North Smithfield. Been in the same house for 50 years, 16. And uncle, 25 years before that. Right now, you see me limping. Well, one morning, July 17th, 2023, took my garbage out and fell through a sinkhole. What do you think I found on the side of my house? A tunnel, like they put in highways. Now, when I moved in, and Uncle Fred moved in, there was nothing there. Trust me. No one knows who put the tunnel in. It's below the sidewalk. Woonsocket, North Smithfield, they said, well, you gotta fill it up. I didn't put it in, I'm not filling it up. That's it, it's not gonna go. But I have about 23,000 damage to my teeth from falling through that hole. I need a new hip and a new knee. But no one knows where it came from. Didn't come from me. And it's the new type where they tunnel through, then they put the clay pipe through. And it just so happened the gas company was there adjusting what they try to cheat you out of the money on the side of the house. And he said, I can't believe this, what's that? And that's a gas company. So now I have a tunnel to nowhere. And it's my responsibility to get rid of it. And we can still fall through it. Now you tell me what to do as a taxpayer. Because let me tell you, I feel like I'm in Neverland. That's all I have to say. And I'm not filling it in, but didn't do it. They say if it happens on your property, you're responsible. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. And it was done in the summer of '22.
Is this a tunnel you can actually, like, go in? Like somebody, it's a body?
That's what they put in the ones that they tunnel through.
Like someone could crawl through there?
Yeah, someone could. Let me see, it's about because it came up to about here to me. And then they have the clay pipe. They put the sand tunnel, then the clay pipe. They go underneath your sidewalk, because they dug all up 22 on that street. The sidewalks were still there, way below the line. So here I am. I'm not filling that up. I didn't put it in. But I still might fight, and I might go to the state. I have thousands of dollars in co-pays to go through all this. I wish I could say, oh, I went on a skiing trip and I fell. I fell on my side yard and it just sucked up. Come on. So we'll see. The fight's beginning, because I've got to have this done. And I can't put out the teeth to see if the tooth fairy brings something, can I? Well, thank you.
Anyone else want to speak in open forum? Anyone else? No? Okay.
On that note, motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
All right.